Welcome to December's sofa chat. As you can see, we're not sitting on our sofa. We moved into our bedroom last night. It's not finished, but this bit looks quite good. And nothing now is going to get me out of this bed. Not even Christmas dinner.
Really? Well, I don't know where you're getting the butler from.
So anyway, we thought that we would do the sofa chat from bed today, didn't we?
We did.
We've had some great questions, so let's dive straight in. As always, there we go, I've lost my glasses. As always, we haven't discussed these or thought about them, so the answers that we give are totally off the cuff.
I haven't seen any of these questions either.
They were sent through quite a while ago, so I haven't actually... Hold on, I need to keep this up here because I'm worried that I'm going
Girls
to
coming out.
pop open. So the first one is Sandy. Sandy says, for the sofa chat, maybe you could tell us about some holiday traditions and some favourite Christmas memories. We're full of our own family traditions, aren't we?
Are we?
I would have said so.
Yeah, we do quite a bit.
So we start off by getting the tree. We decorate the tree as a family, and then we always watch the film The Holiday as a family on the day that we decorate the tree. That's tradition one.
And Love Actually sometimes as well. We have doubled them.
Sometimes we do. Imogen is standing behind the camera. She might have to remind us of some of our traditions. Rowan has actually introduced a new tradition to that one, the Christmas tree and the holiday. Rowan now insists that we have a Chinese takeaway, which she seems to have, oh gosh, my chest hurts, which she seems to have introduced that one.
Yeah, we did it one year, didn't we, I think?
I was going to say, didn't we only do it once?
We did it last year, I think, because...
We also have, we do our Christmas dinner on...
Well, you've moved on.
Oh, I am.
Well, we always go to the Christmas Tree Festival.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
Christmas Tree
the
Festival.
local
Yeah, on the local pantomime as well.
Pantomime.
Yeah, which is an amateur dramatic thing, isn't it? Which is really very good. It's very funny.
And then, right, over to Christmas dinner.
Yeah, and then Christmas dinner we do on the 24th, which started really when the kids were young, didn't it? So we could have dinner, they could open their presents and do what they wanted to do on the day.
We always overcook.
Yeah, we overcook, and we weren't running around like lunatics, weren't we then? So
we overcook so that we've got leftovers.
Yeah.
We eat on the 24th, overcook, and then eat leftovers on Christmas Day. We used to go for a beach walk with the family, but the girls don't seem to want to do that anymore.
Well, actually, the weather's been rubbish
weather
as
has
well.
been
so
horrible.
It's too cold.
It's bitter. I think last year was absolutely bitter, and then it has rained as well. It's like, don't want to do that.
No. Any other?
We used to go see the seals, didn't we? On over near Yarmouth.
Yeah.
The Galston.
The pups, seal pups.
Yeah, that was quite nice, wasn't it, as well? But again, that's weather dependent as well.
Oh, Imi is behind the camera and she's saying that we always watch Bridget Jones. There's Love Actually, The Holiday. Rowan loves Jingle Jangle. So we do tend to watch lots of Christmas films that we watch over and over again over the years.
And we are adding a new film to that list, aren't we, Dad?
Oh, you love that film that we went to see at the cinema the other day. You want to add?
That was great fun. Red One.
Red
It was a load of old rubbish. It was brilliant. Yeah, I like that. That was good fun.
We tend to get together with our friends on Boxing Day or the day after.
Yep.
Have we been to the horse racing or
dog racing?
Dog racing, but this year we're actually going to see ABBA.
The ABBA Voyage.
Yeah.
Which should be really good fun, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
And we might actually we were supposed to be going to the races at Fakenham actually. We said
Oh,
we'd go
on New Year's
New
Day.
Year's Day, yeah.
Yeah.
So if they've got tickets, we'll probably go to that as well.
Going back to the Christmas tree, we always buy the girls a Christmas decoration each year, something meaningful. It's meant to be meaningful. I bought them this year a letterbox, an English red letterbox each, and Imi said, well, what's the meaning behind that? I didn't really have one, other than that they're getting older, and I think I'm really conscious that they're going to leave home soon, and there's the thought of them sending me letters and cards and things, but that was a bit tenuous maybe. Anyway, let's look at the next one. I love this question. This is Sue. This is a brilliant question. I'm not sure if it's been asked before. I don't think it has. But if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? And would your style change depending on where you live? That's a really good one.
It is a good one.
we would love to live in France. Absolutely love to live in France. Anyway, would you like to live anywhere else? Well, actually, I
was just contemplating that.
Love a house in France. I would probably love a house in Sicily, and then
Scandinavia.
It would be nice to be able to just jet set around, moving from house to house. But if I just had to have one other house or move somewhere, it would be to France, definitely. As for whether our style would change, I love this question because I do believe that I've got more houses in me, but I won't. I'd love to have a Georgian farmhouse. I would love to have a French property. I don't think a fundamental style will change, but it definitely would, depending on the style of house. Sometimes when we're looking at things or coming up with ideas, I'll say, I love that idea, but that would work if we had a Victorian villa or a Georgian farmhouse or a French property. So there would be slightly different nuances, I suppose, but I think fundamentally our style would stay the same, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah. Because the colours and our colour palette and stuff has not changed, has it?
No, every house that we've had. So we've had quite a modern house. We've had a 1930s, 1940s house. I've had a little cottage. You've had a Victorian terrace. And you're right. You think, oh, we'll come up with a new colour scheme. We never do. I always say, right, I've decided on the colour scheme, and it's always exactly the same. Yeah. Maybe a slightly different tone to suit the house, but fundamentally, we always go with a sort of mustardy, ochre colour, blacks, creams, burgundies. So, yeah, I think our style would stay the same. But certainly if I had a Victorian villa, I'd like to go a bit more opulent and go deeper with my colours, because you've got beautiful big windows for the light to come in.
And ceiling height.
And depending in France where I was. Well, we used to want a chateau, and I would have loved that dreamy chateau style, but there's no way we're going to France to buy a chateau now.
No.
Hope that answers that one. You talked about the layout of your house. How many bedrooms are there upstairs? It's hard to imagine. Can you draw it for us so we can see how things might fit into your dream home spatially? Just a rough drawing. This was actually covered in fact, I think I've replied here. Bear with me. Right, if you go to the Maze Cottage Tour 2024, I do talk about the layout, and there is a map that I use, a room layout, to show when I go from one room to the other. That's downstairs. Upstairs, there are currently 3. We have the main bedroom downstairs. The girls are going to have a double bedroom each, and then the middle room, the small bedroom, is being turned into a Jack and Jill bathroom. So they will be able to access the bathroom from...
Yeah, and they have separate staircases for their bedrooms. So
they'll have their own staircase, a bedroom, and then a shared bathroom.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Next one. What was the original kitchen at Star Corner like? What compromises did you make to increase the footprint of your home?
I don't think we made any compromises, did we? We're quite lucky because it sits on a fairly big plot, doesn't it?
Yeah, no compromises at all.
No.
The old kitchen, because this was 2 cottages, the old kitchen was a narrow lean-to that ran across the back of the house. So it really was sort of 2 long rooms, where in one room there was the sink, and then in one room there was... It wasn't particularly well laid out, was it?
No.
And by the time we moved in, I don't know when the lean-to was added, but by the time we moved in, there was mushrooms growing on the walls.
I know there was a tree growing, splitting the brickwork, through the brickwork, and it was leaked a bit as well. Yeah, well, it did leak because I had to put tarpaulin over the roof.
So it wasn't a space that we could keep.
No.
So we knew that it needed to be knocked down and rebuilt. And I mean, this is a much better... We've come out the back of the house, and so where the kitchen is now and this bedroom, there used to be a dilapidated log store, which is why we've put corrugated metal on the outside of the extension, because it's just a nod to what was here.
Yeah, and it would have been a farm as well, hundreds of years ago. So It was part of a farm, wasn't it?
Yeah, so because really we are on a relatively big plot, but it hasn't really impacted the plot at all, not really.
Well, no, because there was stuff there already, which we wouldn't have used. So,
And by
nothing at all,
putting
so-
the extension on, we have doubled the footprint of the
house on a single story basis. But yeah, we have.
So it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, huge.
But I think that answers that
No,
one.
there was 2 parts to that question, wasn't there?
What was the original kitchen?
Oh, yes,
And what
sorry.
compromises did you... Okay. The next one, what motivated you to embark on the journey of starting your channel, and what sparked the idea in the first place? That's a good one. I was on Instagram, and I used to do a vintage show and tell on Instagram, showing what I'd found in car boots and at charity shops and in auctions and things. And then for some reason I tried to upload it once.
It was Reels had a limit, didn't it, originally?
Well, it was only for me. It was a bit bizarre. So a friend had kept saying, you need to do YouTube, you need to do YouTube. And I thought, I can't take anything else on. I was trying to document the renovation journey on Instagram and also the antique hunting. And then I went to upload it and it just would not let me upload the length of the video that I'd done. And then I thought, I really don't like how Instagram changes all the time, that the rules change and this changes and that changes. And I looked into YouTube and I just thought YouTube seems to be a lot more reliable, steady platform. They don't seem to change it that much. And that's really how it started.
Almost accidental, wasn't it?
So I started uploading my vintage show and tells, and now actually I find it far easier to demonstrate what we're doing on the renovation in a long form video, because it's really difficult to explain on Instagram when you only have a small amount of time, and it's really difficult to explain why we're doing that and why we haven't done that, and it's far easier to have that conversation on YouTube, isn't it?
Yes,
and you weren't on my Instagram at all, but now you're part of the YouTube channel as well.
Just wanted to boost your ratings.
Stupid. Sorry. The next question is from Lorraine. Do you feel like you've been doing the renovation a long time, or does it seem to have gone so quickly? As we sometimes plan at the beginning of the year to do certain things, then we find we didn't achieve much. We didn't achieve much of what we planned. So now I think even if we have one thing we've done since last year, I'm content and just start the list again next year. Do we feel as though we've been doing it a long time?
It's a bit of both, actually. I'm getting a bit tired of it now, I have to admit, because it's just... But we have broken the back of it. Yeah. So... And we've actually been doing this part, the actual new bit, for 3 years. And we've actually lived here 9 years in January. So we're in our 8th year.
Oh, don't. That lady that keeps going, 8 years? Now you've just added 9 to it.
Eye roll. The old part of the house is there's so much stuff that, I mean, you've just mentioned that lady. What people don't seem to understand is that there are so many things you cannot do until you have done certain bits. And it took us nearly 3 years to find a plumber that would actually do the job. And we couldn't actually move on with the project until that plumber had come in and actually put all the pipes and everything in that we needed. Now that's in, we have actually broken the back of it. Because when I put the roof on and we were watertight for the first year in the extension, I was really pleased. And then someone said to me, you know, when you've got the roof on, you're only 50% of the way there. So...
It does feel as though we've been doing it for a long time, but of course it's not just a renovation, like you just said. If it was just the renovation, we would be pretty much nearly finished, I think, because we would have had 3 years of working on that.
If this had been like our 1940s house, we would have ripped through this. We did it in 6 months when we did that house.
But because we've been doing the extension for 3 years, and that was a major learning curve, we've built, as I said earlier, we've doubled the footprint of our original property. It's quite big.
Yeah.
The extension is big, and the royal we did it on our own.
Yeah, well, there was no contractors employed to do this, which is what you see with a lot of people. They did this, and
So it's not just a case of decorating.
no,
We've
it's
actually built
built this
this.
from out the ground, from nothing,
And
up
we
to
didn't
what it is
have
now.
that knowledge.
No.
You know, it's okay having a bit of decorating knowledge or a bit of tiling knowledge from
and only having weekends to do it in as well,
and children
and children, and a life,
and
and working.
I hate to mention the age word, but as you know, we were in our 40s when we moved here, and now we're in our 50s, and that starts to take its toll a bit, doesn't it?
Does a little bit, yeah.
And of course, you get tired in doing it for 8 or 9 years. You just get tired
Well,
of doing it.
You get DIY fatigue.
Fatigue,
to be honest, yeah, you do.
The other thing as well, I think we're feeling tired over the last couple of years because once we knocked down the back of the house, which meant then we were exposed. We only had internal doors.
We didn't have a kitchen.
We didn't have a kitchen.
A proper bathroom.
And so then we couldn't really take our time. There were things that we had to do. You know, so we have been on this treadmill as we can't take a weekend off. We've got to do this. We've got to achieve something this weekend. And even having the outdoor shower, we didn't have an oven. So we had to build the extension. We had to make it watertight. We had to put the heating in. We had to get the indoor shower. We had to move into our bedroom. So there's been a lot of we have to do this. Where the renovation, when we were working on that, it was like, it's okay as it is. We've got a roof over our head. We're okay.
But that situation as well of living in the renovation also means you do make compromises in the fact that we have got a snagging list as long as my arm, haven't we? Because you've done a job for a specific purpose that you have then left to go and do something more important. So therefore, something may not have been completely finished. There may be a reason for that, or it may just be that I need to allocate my time to something more important that is needed, as opposed to my dad keeps asking me, for example, when are we going to put the green roof on? He's asked me 1,000 times. Don't need to put the green roof on because it's just not important, and the funds can be allocated somewhere else.
A green roof, just in case you don't know what a green roof is a living roof. We're having a living roof on this extension, which will be beautiful, and it will be cedar and.
So we have a rubber roof, which is waterproof, obviously. So and that will go on top of that.
But the good news is nobody's actually asked this question, which I'm amazed about, because we have felt that it has been exhausting over the last few years. I think we have both acknowledged that we don't want to continue doing it in that way. We both love cooking. We both love going out and spending time together in Norfolk just with the two of us and with our children. And so next year we have decided that we are going to tackle some of those snagging lists. People get really frustrated that the kitchen isn't finished. And I always say, when I say people, in social media followers, the kitchen is functional. I can cook in there now. I can be warm in there now. We can eat in there. We can entertain in there. So actually, yes, okay, the walls don't have plaster or paint on them or whatever else. It's not finished, but it's fine. And
it functions, doesn't it?
I'm fine with that. Even this bedroom, I think we will do more to this bedroom, but
we'll finish the bedroom this year.
Next year,
yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But anyway, we've agreed next year that our attention is going to turn to the garden. We're going to get. You're not a very tidy worker, are you? So over the 8 years, you've been going on to the next project, and I think my capacity to cope with the mess has hit.
Are you full to capacity?
I'm full to capacity. So we've agreed that we'll get some skips and we'll have major tidy up and sort through the garden and tackle some of the snagging lists. We will entertain more next year. We will have a bit more of a life next year.
Yeah.
We want to cook more next year.
This year hasn't been a really fun year, has it? Because it has been just, house, hasn't it?
And even now, going back to the Christmas thing, normally all the presents are bought by the 1st of December, and then we just really enjoy the Christmas build-up, don't we? And we have just been working, trying to get into the bedroom, trying to get the shower done, and we've done it, and it will be a lovely Christmas holiday now, but we're tired. So next year, the list will be smaller, not such big achievements. And
There isn't huge leaps to do now. A lot of
But-
it is cosmetic.
but I think
so-
actually at the end of next year, it would be nice to have door handles. And obviously we're doing the skylights in here. It'll be nice to have door handles. It'll be nice to fix the shutter in the living room that's broken. It'll be nice to put curtain poles up, which we've got and we just haven't put up.
Yeah.
So snagging is what we will do next year. Can't
Large
wait.
snagging.
Large snagging.
Yeah.
Love your channel, but you have very fixed ideas on how you want your home to look, and the restoration process is taking a long time. And so by the time you get there, aren't you bored of it, or your tastes have moved on, or because what I liked 3 years ago isn't my vibe now? This is sort of following on from the other question, I think, about moving houses and different styles. I think fundamentally we have a style that we've had for years and years and years, and it's ever evolving anyway, because we're antique dealers. Things come and things go, we sell things, so we sort of live like that anyway. And even during the renovation, in fact yesterday I showed, we thought we were going to put this cupboard in our ensuite, but now we're going to put this cupboard in. So yes, we have fixed ideas of how it wants to look, but that's really deep rooted in our style.
Yeah, and ultimately, most people don't go through their house ripping everything out and redoing it every 3 years. It will be cosmetic in terms of wallpapering, painting, something like that. And they might change a particular item, but most people don't go through every 3 years ripping out entire kitchens and things, because it's just it's too costly to do.
Or even all redecorating.
Well, redecorating can be really expensive, yeah, but
Exactly.
some people do that. You
And
know?
I think one of the looks that I particularly like is the country farmhouse, English country farmhouse look. And so when I've been working on the design of the house, I really want it to look as though it's been here for years. I want it to look lived in.
It's quite a classic look, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a timeless look, because we're not going to follow fashion. We're going for what we like and for a particular look. So therefore, it's never really going to. It's only going to evolve in the fact that we've changed our mind about a cupboard, or like we're moving that cupboard in there rather than.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think one of the things that's really panicked me when we've been doing the extension bit is it's going to look too new. Hence the wanting old panelling and things like that. So it's not. I've deliberately made the house look lived in and timeless, and I can't. And I haven't gone out and bought the latest wallpaper or the latest trend in fabric or something. So,
but there's a really lovely pub, isn't there, near here that we have been to on occasion, the Gunton Arms.
oh yeah,
And that's set in. It's an old hunting lodge set in a deer park, but the internals look like they have been there forever, don't they? And yet the actual internals of that hunting lodge, most of it's not original, is it?
no, I follow the decorator on Instagram.
Absolutely
I haven't
fantastic.
seen it pop up recently, and it's amazing to see when it was first done. It looked like this. It looked new, and by the time he'd finished painting it, it looked as though it got years worth of cigar smoke,
Yeah.
cigar stains on
Been
the
there for
wall.
hundreds of years.
Yes,
It looked great.
It looks scuffed. It looks as though I'm sure somebody would move in saying, "Gosh, this needs to be redecorated." But it's great. The rugs are old. The furniture's old. It just looks time worn.
Yeah, and there's an awful lot of people who won't like that look, but that's the kind of thing we're going for, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't. We are still using things in our home now that we've had in other houses, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, if we can't use a pair of curtains, it's because they don't fit the window, or a piece of furniture, it's because it doesn't fit in the room. And as I said, we're antique dealers, so we buy things, we sell things, and that keeps things moving anyway. So, and I'm not, I don't think you are, we're just not that kind of person that gets fed up with we're not on to the next thing, It's just not.
No,
it's, just
it's
not
about
us.
seeing something that you love and think, I love that. Can we fit that in the house? And you buy it, and then you enjoy it, and then you caretake it and sell it. So
And it's the same for clothes as well. I've got clothes hanging up in my wardrobe that are years old, but you add it with something new and it looks like a completely new outfit. So we might get some new bed linen, or we might get some new cushions or something, and it completely changed the look of the room. Anyway, I think that is all of the questions. Thank you so much for joining us this year on our renovation journey. On the whole, it's been fun. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for sending us the questions. I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you again very soon. Bye for now.